So stop the DVD now and try the exercise out and then come back to see if you got them right. Alright, welcome back. Here are the answers for exercise 3. So you cross multiplied. So 9 times x gives you 9x. 3 times 6 gives you 18. Then you divide by 9 and you divide by 9. You're left with x is equal to. You're left with 1x, but I'll just write x. 18 divided by 9 is 2. So that finishes number 1. Let's do number 2. The question for number 2 was 5 over x is equal to 20 over 8. Once again, I multiply, cross multiply. 20 times x is 20x is equal to 5 times 8, 40. So I divide both sides by 20. 20 divided by 20 gives you x. 40 divided by 20 is 2. So the final answer is x is equal to 2. Sometimes when we write the answer, we just draw a line like this and put an arrowhead there to say that the example is now over. So that's number 1 and number 2. And I'll do number 3 and 4 for you shortly. Number 3, so we cross multiply. 3 times x will give you 3x. 7 times 15, put it in a calculator if you don't know, and you get 105. Then you're going to divide by 3, and you're going to divide by 3. 3 divides into 3 one time, you're left with 1, so I don't have to write the 1, I can just write x. Alright, let me write it, 1x. 105 divided by 3 gives you 35. If you don't know your tables, just get the calculator to help you. And finally, number 4. Number 4, 4 over 14 is equal to x over 7. Now let me do this one differently. Let's say I not made a mistake. Let's say I said 4 times 7 is 28. And 14 times x is 14x. And I wrote it like that. Then I can use that law. If you like, you can call it all and all law. If I take all from that side and bring it to the left hand side. If I take all from this side and take it that side, nothing changes. All and nothing changes. See? All and nothing changes. So if I like, I'll bring all this on this side. I'll take all this on that side. And nothing changes. And now I realize I'm going to divide by 14. I'm going to divide by 14. Final answer is 1x is equal to 28 divided by 14 is 2. So the final answer is x is equal to 2. So this is a section where we're using the rule of cross multiply. Alright, so now we have exercise 4. In this example, it's called a mixed exercise, because all the different types of examples we've done, we put it inside over here. So let me just read it out for you so that you know what each question is about. So the first one is 5x plus 10 is equal to 3x plus 30. Number 2, 8x minus 12 is equal to 6x minus 22. Number 3, 3x plus 5 is equal to 4x plus 10. Number 4, x over 3 is equal to 6 over 9. I'll repeat that, x over 3 is equal to 6 over 9. Number 5, 4x plus 2 is equal to 2, open bracket, x plus 10, close bracket. You see, this one is called open bracket and this one is called close bracket. Number 6. 3x plus 5 is equal to 7, open bracket, x minus 5, close bracket. Alright, so go through this exercise and remember that you will have to use the rules and the methods from the different sections we have done and try the exercise, and hopefully you should get them all right. Switch off the DVD, complete the exercise and come back, and then we will help you to mark them. Alright, we are now marking exercise 4. So I'm not going to talk too much. 5x minus 3x is equal to minus 10 plus 30. 2x is equal to 20. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x is equal to 10. That's number 1. Now move on to number 2. The question was 8x minus 2 is equal to 6x minus 22. 8x minus 6x is equal to plus 2 minus 22. That gives me 2x is equal to minus 20. Be careful here. Plus 2 minus 22 gives you minus 20. Then I'm dividing by 2, dividing by 2. That leaves me with x. A minus divided by a plus will give you a minus. 20 divided by 2 gives you 10. Right? And we'll move on to number 3 and 4 just now. Right, we're at number 3 now. So there's your 3x transpose minus 4x. We finished with that, finished that. Plus 5 transpose, we finished with that. Plus 10, bring down. Now be careful, 3 minus 4 gives you minus 1x is equal to. Minus 5 plus 10 will give you plus 5. Now it's minus 1x, it's not completed. So you have to divide by minus 1, divide by minus 1. Now minus divided by minus is plus. So you got your plus 1x is equal to. Now plus divided by minus is minus, and that's minus 5. So the final answer here is x is equal to 5. Alright, so this one you get number 4, 9x is equal to 18. Divide by 9, divide by 9, x is equal to 2. Number 5, 4x plus 2 is equal to 2 into x plus 10. So you got 4x plus 2 is equal to 2x plus 20. Now you start transposing. 4x minus 2x is equal to minus 2 plus 20. That gives you 2x is equal to 18. Divide by 2, divide by 2, x is equal to 9. 6, 3x plus 5. Remove brackets, 7x minus 35. You're multiplying, you see. And then you transpose 3x minus 7x is equal to. That becomes minus 5. That's minus 35. That gives you minus 4x. Be careful. 3 minus 7 minus 4x is equal to minus 40. Now you're going to divide by minus 4. Divide by minus 4. That will give you plus 1x. Minus divided by minus will give you plus. 40 divided by 4 is 10. So your final answer is x is equal to 10. I hope you got all right. 4 by 4. And what do you get? You get 1. So 1 times this one will give you 1x. Go to the next one. What is this? 4, right? Divide that 4 by this 4. What is the answer? 1. Take that 1 times this 3x. That 1 times this 3x. We get 3x is equal to. Now the last one. LCM is 4. What is the denominator? 1. Write the 1 there. 4 divided by 1, the answer is 4. Now 4 times this 6. I'll repeat. 4 times this 6 will give you 24. See? So now it's very easy. 4x is equal to 24. X is equal to 24 divided by 4. X is equal to 6. So when you have fractions, it's better firstly to write it down in a way that looks easier and in a way with which you can identify the denominator easily. Identify means you can make out which is the denominator easily. Then, and once you can see this easily, you can find the LCM easily. If there are 3 numbers, you must write the LCM down 3 times. Then you must divide by the denominators. Then you multiply and you get the answer. Well, as I do another example, you will understand it more. When I'm doing the second example, I'll show you how to find LCM, because here it was very easy. It's 4, 4 and 1, so you knew it was 4, you could do it mentally. Alright, let's move on to number 2. Alright, here we have number 2. Now, you've got 3/4 x. Now if you look here carefully, this line is going horizontally nicely. Here you'll see the line is going slant. It makes no difference. It's still the same. Alright? So now, before we start this example, it's better to rewrite this nicely. It's better to rewrite it as 3x over 4. You see, 3 times x all over 4 plus. It's better to rewrite this as 2 times x, 2x over 3 is equal to 17 over 1. So now you wrote it. You can see the denominator is 4, the denominator is 3. Denominator. So the denominators are 3 and 4. So we've got denominator 3, 4, and 1. And 1. Okay, so you've got 3 denominators here. 3, 4 and 1. Now you want to find the LCM. So what you do, you take 4 and you say, well, 4, you find the multiples of 4. You write multiples of 4 is equal to, and you count in 4s. So you get 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and you can carry on like that. So you took 4. Now you're learning a method how to find LCM. Then you got 3. Then you find multiples of, so you count in 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, etc. You write a few of them down there, you write a few of them down there. Then you look for the first, see these are multiples. You look for the multiple that is common, which is the same. Can you see? 12 is the first one that is the same. You see 3 and 4 are different, 6 and 8 are different. Then you got 12 here. 12 and 9 are different, but 12 and 12 are the same. So the LCM is 12. See, that's how you find the LCM. Now, how many times you must write the LCM down? You must write it down 3 times because you've got 3 numbers. 1, 2, 3. So you write it down 3 times. There's 12, there's 12, there's 12. Now there are many ways to do this example. I am showing you one way and another teacher might show you another way. Right. Now what you do? You take that 12 and you divide it by 4 because you're looking here. So 4 divided by 12 gives you 3. Then you take that 3 and you multiply it by 3x. Now where that 3x is coming from? It's coming from the top here. So 3 times 3x gives you 9x. Right? Plus. Now don't worry about the 12 anymore. Don't worry about the denominator anymore. Alright, you may be frightened, so let's put it. There's it. Right, now the denominator has become 12, you see, because it's the LCM. Next one, you take the 12, you divide it by 3. 12 divided by 3 gives you 4. You take that 4 and you must multiply it by whatever is on top there. 4 times 2x. What's the answer? 8x. So it becomes 8x over 12 is equal to. Right, is equal to. Now what's the last one? 12. That 12 is going to be divided by this 1. So if we divide 12 by 1, you get 12. Then you take your 12 and multiply it by the number on top. 12 times 17. Now you must know your tables. If you don't know your tables, you can always use a calculator. Well, 12 sevens, 84. Right? 12 sevens, 84. Carry 8. 12 was 12 and 8, 20. So you get 204. 12 times 7 gives you 204 over 12. Now you can see that denominators are exactly the same. If the denominators are exactly the same, then we can just add the numerators. So 9x plus 8x gives you 17x is equal to 17x over 12 is equal to 204 over 12. Now the denominators are exactly the same. Therefore, the numerators are equal. 17x is equal to 204. X is equal to 204 divided by 17. X is equal to, well, 17 goes into 20 one time. Remainder 3 into 34 2 times. So x is equal to 12. So that is how you do a fraction, an equation that contains fractions. Alright, so don't get frightened and run away, just relax. Do it step by step. If you do little bits of working like this, it'll help you and you won't get lost. If you're trying to find the LCM, do your working like that and find the LCM. Well, the truth is, from this example, you can see that in the end, we don't need those LCMs. So that is why when we are working examples like this, in equations, we actually ignore the LCM and we leave it out. We only write it there and don't show it. But I just did this one example to show you that it is here and how it all works. In other words, you can see the logic. You can see the reasoning, how it works. So I'm going to redo this example just now, and I'm not going to show the LCM, because from this example you can see that the LCM in the end has no effect on the answer, you see, because the denominator is 12, denominator is 12, or the LCM is 12, LCM is 12. Because the LCMs are exactly the same, the numerators will be equal. So now that we know that it happens like that, in all other examples we can ignore the LCM. But remember, you can only ignore an LCM in an equation. You can only ignore the LCM in an equation, not anywhere else. So I'm going to redo this example, ignoring the LCM. Alright, so let's redo this example by ignoring the LCM in the working. So I finished doing number 2 for you, and I did it showing you the LCM inside the working. Now I'm going to redo the same example without showing you the LCM inside the working. The LCM will only be written on the side, and you'll see that it becomes much more easier. So as long as you saw one example and you saw how the LCM works there, you now have a license to ignore it in the other examples. So the denominators are 3, 4 and 1. So the multiples, sorry, this pen is troubling me. So the multiples of 4 are 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. Multiples of 3, we're looking there. Multiples of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, so on. Don't have to worry about 1. Only number you don't have to worry is 1. So don't worry about the 1. Now, we're looking at a multiple which is the same. If it's the same, same means common. So we can see that 12 is the same. Therefore, the LCM is 12. Okay, now the LCM is 12. How many times must we write the LCM? We must write it down 3 times because we've got 3 numbers. Okay, we wrote it down 3 times. Now, in the rest of the working, we're not going to show the LCM. And that's the way to do it so that it will be easy and you won't get confused and you find comfortable. So remember, you can only ignore the LCM in an equation. So LCM is 12, you take the 12, divide it by the 4, the answer is 3. Now that 3 times this 3 here, x. 3 times 3x is 9x. So that's why I write 9x here. Plus. Now, you take the 12 and you divide it by this 3. Right? 12 divided by 3 gives you 4. Then you say 4 times whatever is on top. 4 times 2x. And what do we get? 8x. So you write the 8x here. Then the last one. The denominator is 1. The LCM is 12. Divide 12 by 1. And the answer is 12. Then it will be 12 times the numerator. 12 times whatever is on top. 12 times 17. And that gives you 204. So you get 204. So you see, this time we didn't write down the LCM, and you don't have to write it down. So this gives you 17x is equal to 204. X is equal to 204 divided by 17. X is equal to, well, 17 goes into 20 1 time. Remainder 3 into 34 2 times. So x is equal to 12. Well, if you don't know your multiplication tables and if you don't know how to do this division, just get the calculator to help you. And the calculator will do that for you and will also do the division for you. Alright, so I'll do another example just now in the same way, and then as you watch 1 or 2 more examples, you will start feeling comfortable, relaxed, and you'll be able to do it. Alright, let's move on. Alright, so there's number 3. Half x plus 3 over 8x is equal to 28. So once again, rewrite it so that you can read it nicely. So it's x over 2 plus 3 times x, 3x over 8 is equal to 28 over 1. Alright, so what is your LCM? We're going to find the LCM. So you'll say multiples of 2, because that's 2, is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. Then you will say the multiples of 8 is equal to 8, 16, 32, etc. So you can see clearly now that the first lowest common multiple is 8. So the LCM is 8. So you're going to write down 8 3 times because there are 3 numbers involved. So the first time you'll divide 8 by 2. You'll divide 8 by 2. So if you divide 8 by 2, you get 4. And then it's 4 times the number on top. 4 times x, which gives you 4x. So you write your 4x here. Plus. The second time you divide the LCM by the second denominator. This is 8, so you divide by 8. So you get 1. So it will be 1 times whatever is on top there. So it will be 1 times 3x. So 1 times 3x is 3x. So this will be 3x is equal to. And the third time you will divide 8 by what is here. So you divide by 1. So 8 divided by 1 is 8. So it will be 8 times 28. If you know your tables, it's great. If you don't know, use your calculator. 8 times 8, 64. Carry 6. 8 to 16 plus the 6 will give you 224. So this is 224. Right, now you add up here. 7x is equal to 224. X is equal to 224 divided by 7. 7 divides into 22, 2 times. Right? 7 2s 14 remainder. No, sorry, 3 times. So it divides 3 times. 7 divided into 21. 22, 3 times. 7 3s 21 remainder 1 into 14, 2 times. So x is equal to 32 is your final answer. So what's the division? 7 divides into 22 3 times. 7 3 is 21, remainder 1 into 14, 2 times. Well, if you don't know that, just put in a calculator and get the answer. So that is how you deal with linear equations that contain fractions. So I think I'll do one more example and then we will give you a little exercise to try. Alright, so let's move on to number 4. Alright, so here we have number 4, 2.5x plus 2/3x is equal to 19. Now, there's one new thing here now. Now we've got 2.5x. So we're going to learn what to do with 2.5x. Well, if you take 2.5, you want to write it as a fraction. So you say 2 times 2, see this 2 here is a big 2. 2 times 2 plus 1 all over the denominator 2. So that will give you 2 2's 4 and 1, 5 over 2. So 2.5 is rewritten as 5 over 2. So this is 5 over 2x plus 2 over 3x is equal to 19. Alright, so this one will become 5 times x, 5x over 2 plus 2x over 3 is equal to 19 over 1. Once again you want to find LCM, so you'll say multiples of 2 is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8 and so on. Multiples of 3 is equal to 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on. And you can see clearly once again that the first lowest common multiple is 6. So the LCM is equal to 6. Right. So we're going to write 6 down 3 times because there are 3 numbers. So 6, 6, 6. 2 goes in. So you divide 6 by 2. You divide the 6 by this 2 here. And you'll get 3. Then it's 3 times 5x. 3 times 5x is 15x. So that's how we get 15x plus. Now 6, the second time is divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now that 2 times whatever is on top, 2x, which gives you 4x. So that's 4x is equal to. And the third time, you're going to divide 6 by the third denominator, which is 1. So if you divide 6 by 1, the answer is 6. And then it will be 6 times 19. Well, put it in your calculator or use your table. 6 9s 50, 4. Write down the 4, carry 5. 6 to 1, 6 and 5, 11. 1, 1, 4. So you get 1, 1, 4. Right. Add it up, you get 19x is equal to 1, 1, 4. Right. 19x is equal to 1, 1, 4. So x is equal to 1, 1, 4 divided by 19. And now, if you've got to know your table. You see, 6 9s are 54, 6 1 6, and 5 is 11. So 19 divided into that 6 times. If you don't know that, just use a calculator. 114 divided by 19, and you get x is equal to 6. So use the calculator to help you in these examples, especially when you got big multiplications like this, and when you got big divisions like this. The truth is, you're supposed to know it. But if you don't know, don't worry. Use the calculator to help you. Alright, so I think you got a feeling now on how to do these equations, and I'm going to give you a little exercise, just 4 examples that you can try, and we hope that you will get them all right. Okay, sit back, relax, and I'll give you an exercise shortly. Alright, so here we have exercise 5, 2/5 x, 2 over 5x plus 3/5. 3 over 5x is equal to 4. Number 2, 2 over 3x plus 1 over 2x is equal to 35. Number 3, 1.5x plus 2/5 x is equal to 95. And number 4, 2.5x minus 1/3 x is equal to 65. Alright, so what you can do is stop the DVD, do the exercise, and then come back and we'll help you to mark it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the examples. So here are the solutions for exercise 5. Well, number 1 is straightforward. You see, 2/5 x plus 3/5. You know that 2/5 plus 3/5 gives you 1. But in case you don't know that, the LCMs are exactly the same. So there's your 5. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 over 5x is equal to 4. Well, 5 over 5 is 1. That means x is 4. Well, 1x is 4. That means x is 4. Right. But you should know that 2/5 plus 3/5 gives you 1. So that finishes number 1. That's fairly straightforward. Now we're going to do number 2. I think I'll need more space, so let me just wipe that off. Alright, so here we have number 2. And let's see. We're going to write that as 2x over 3 plus x over 2 is equal to 35 over 1. And then we find the LCM. Well, multiples of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12, etc. Multiples of 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. And clearly the LCM is 6. So you're going to write 6 down 3 times. First time you'll divide by 3. See? The second time you'll divide by 2. The third time you'll divide by 1. Now 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times the number on top here, 2x, gives you 4x. So here you got 4x plus. 6 divided by 2 gives you 3. Now 6 divided by 2 gives you 3. This 3 will be multiplied by the number on top there. 3 times x gives you 3x. So we write down 3x over there is equal to. And the last time 6 divided by 1 is 6. So it will be 6 times whatever is on top there. 6 times 35. 6 times 35. 6 5s 30, 6 3s 18, and 3 21. So you got 210. So 4x plus 3x gives you 7x. 7x is equal to 210. X is equal to 210 divided by 7. X is equal to 30. Alright, so the final answer was x is equal to 30. And that's how we do number 2. Right, shortly we'll give you the answer for number 3. Alright, so here we have number 3. 1, 2 is 2 and 1. 3 over 2. So that is written as 3 over 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 plus 1, 3. 3 over 2 plus 2 over 5x is equal to 95. Rewriting this properly, you get 3x over 2 plus 2x over 5 is equal to 95 over 1. And then we've got to find the LCM. So our denominators are 2 and 5. Don't worry about the 1. So multiples of 2 will give you 2, 4, 6, 8. Alright. Alright. Imagine I just stop there. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then multiples of 5 gives you 5, 10, 15, 20, and you continue there. Now when you compare, you can't find anything there. You can't find 5, you can't find 10, you can't... Well, it means you must continue. You must write more numbers there. Well, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then after 8 I have to write 10. After 10 I have to write 12 and so on. And now clearly I can see that the LCM is 10. So I will write down 10 3 times. Right? Because there's 3 numbers here. I'll write down 10. First time you divide 10 by 2. Second time you divide 10 by 5. Third time you divide 10 by 1. Right. 10 divided by 2 gives you 5. Then it is 5 times what's on top? 3x. Which gives you 15x. So this is 15x plus. 10 divided by 5 gives you 2. Right? So it will be 2 times whatever is on top. 2 times 2x gives you 4x. So it's 4x. And finally 10 divided by 1 gives you 10. Then you'll have 10 times the number on top, which is 95. 10 times 95 will give you 950. So there's your 950. Right. Don't get frightened with all these big numbers now. 15 plus 4 will give you 19x is equal to 950. And then x is equal to 950 divided by 19, and x is equal to, well, 19 divides there 50 times. 19 divided by 95 5 times. 19 divided by 0 0 times. Just use the calculator to help you here. And so that's your solution for number 3. Okay. Shortly we'll give you the answer for number 4. Right, so here we have number 4. 2.5x minus 1/3 x is equal to 65. So you've got to convert this to an improper fraction. 2 2's 4 plus 1 5 over 2x minus 1/3 x is equal to 65. See, 2 2's 4 plus 1 5 over 2x. Now to rewrite it nicely, 5x over 2 minus 1 times x is x over 3 is equal to 65 over 1. Find the LCM for 2 and 3. Well, I'll say that by now you know how to find the LCM, and therefore the LCM is 6 for 2 and 3. Alright, LCM is 6. Now, you've got to write the LCM down 1, 2, 3 times. So there's the 6, there's the 6, there's the 6. First time it's divided by 2. Second time is divided by 3. Third time is divided by 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 1 is 6. Right, now this one must be multiplied by 5x. 3 times 5x gives you 15x. Now be careful, this is a minus sign. So you write down minus. 2, the second one will be multiplied by the second numerator. 2 times x, which is 2x. So you get 2x is equal to 6 times the numerator that's on the top. So 6 times 65. 6 times 65, 6 fives, 30, carry 3, 6, 6, 36, and 3, 39. 390. Subtract, and you get 13x is equal to 390. X is equal to 390 divided by 13. X divided into 39, or 13, sorry, divided into 39, 3 times into 0, 0 time. Or just put that in your calculator, 390 divided by 13, and you will get 30. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you that this answer is right. Well, to show you that the answer is right, what you must do, take the calculator and say 2,5 times 30 minus 1 divided by 3 times 30 is equal to, and you'll see that you'll get the answer 65. So you'll get 65 is equal to 65, and you know the answer is correct. In other words, if you want to test this answer, this is what you'll do. In the calculator, you'll put 2.5 is 2,5 times 30 minus 1 divided by 3 times 30, and you press the equal to sign. It's better to do all this in a bracket. And you put this in the calculator, and you'll find that the calculator will give you 65. So what's happening? On the left hand side you got 65, on the right hand side you got 65, and you say that your answer is correct. So it's very important to test your answer. Alright, so that brings us to the end of linear equations. The next time when we meet, we're going to move on to a different type of equations. Alright, so there you are. If you got them all right, very good. If you didn't get them all right, don't lose hope. Just go back, look and see where you made a mistake, correct your mistakes. You might have to do the same examples 3 or 4 times till you can get it right. And you also have to get the speed right, so you need to work them out fast. So you'll have to do an example sometimes 2 or 3 times till you get used to it and you can get it right and you can do it fast. Alright, sit back and relax.
Which is coming 50.
Welcome back. Now we are going to look at a new section called simultaneous linear equations. Alright, so the section we're going to do now is called simultaneous linear equations. What it means is we're going to be given 2 equations together and we have to solve them. Now, if you're looking at this DVD, be careful. This section is for NQF level 2 upwards, or it is for grade 9 upwards. In other words, if you're in grade 8, don't worry about this section. Right. Now here's a number of equations, and each equation will have its own method of solving. You can't use one method for all the equations. So let's first talk about a few things. You see there are 2 unknowns here. X is one unknown, Y is the other. So all these equations got 2 unknowns. K-N-O-W-N-S. They have 2 unknowns. One is X and the other is Y. Sometimes it could be P and sometimes it could be Q and it could be M, it could be N, it doesn't matter. So here we have 2 unknowns. So we have to solve for X, we have to solve for Y. What that means is we've got to find the value of X, find the value of Y. Find what X is equal to, find what Y is equal to. Alright, now if you look at the first one, now don't try to remember all the methods, you're just listening. So that's all you got to do. Just sit back, relax and just listen. If you look at the first one, I can solve number 1 and put it into number 2. So that's the method for that one. I can solve number 1 because it's a simple linear equation. I can take that answer, put it in number 2 and carry on. We're not doing the whole example now, we're just talking about how to do it. So here you'll solve 1 and put in 2. That's what you do. Now if you look at these two sets, the idea is to solve for one unknown and then put it in the other equation. So if you look at this equation, you can't solve there, you can't solve here. So when you study it, you come to now know a new method. In this example, we say, look, if you add these two equations up, if you add them up, the y will disappear and you'll be left with x's only. Right? So if you look at this equation, now don't try to remember it, I'm just explaining. If you look here, if I add, I'll get 4x plus 2y is equal to 32. So adding is not solving my problem here. So in this example, I will have to call that equation 1, call that equation 2. So I'll have to multiply number 1 by minus 1 and then add. So you see here, I could just add. But in this one, after I study the question, I realize, look, I better multiply by minus 1 here, multiply by minus 1 here, multiply by minus 1 here. In other words, multiply the whole equation by minus 1 and then add them up. So later on, I'm going to go and do each one and then you know how it's done. But I'm just showing you the different methods. Solve one and put in 2. Add the two equations and then proceed. Here, multiply the first equation by minus 1 and then add. Or put in another way, we can say that subtract the two equations. Here I'm adding them, here I'm actually subtracting the 2. When I'm saying multiply by minus 1 and then add, I'm really subtracting. Right, now let's look at number 4. When you look at number 4, if I add here, I'll get 3x. If I add here, I'll get 2y is equal to 19. So the unknown is not disappearing. We've got to get rid of one unknown. So in this example, call that equation 1, call that equation 2. So in this example, it takes a little bit of common sense and a little bit of studying the equation. I can see that, look, if I multiply the top one by 3 and then add it, my problem will be solved. So that's really what happens. Multiply 1 by 3 and then add. Okay? And the last one, call that equation 1, call that equation 2. So if I just add them up, I'll get 5x plus 4y is equal to 13. My unknown did not disappear, or I didn't get a value for one unknown. So I have to look at it carefully and decide what to do. Now you can see this is 3y.